Hi, welcome back to my channel. I'm Nikola, and today I want to share with you some yoga props switches. This is basically guided more to my beginners. I am starting to record some classes for someone that wants to start practicing yoga, and maybe you don't have everything around you for props, because we have some props in yoga, and I know that at the beginning I didn't have mine. So home switches are very nice, so you can see what you need, what you want to buy in the future, maybe to invest in your comfort of the practice. So we have few basic props, and I'm gonna guide you how to switch them, what you can have maybe at your home to use it in a practice. So let's start. We're gonna start with, I think, basic one, a yoga strap. A yoga strap is quite long and it has a buckle at the end, so you can basically have a loop around it and figure out what length you need for maybe a stern pose or something like that. And I have mine. It was with a mat that I had, and I like that strap. I have two. One is this, and it's from This Is Ollie brand, and one is from Osho, and they both do great things for me. I have them for a few years now. But if you do not have this, but you have a yoga mat, probably your yoga mat went with a strap to it attached. And because I have a lot of yoga mats in my studio, I have a lot of these straps. Honestly, I think they are good enough if you don't want to invest in a yoga strap, because they are not that cheap. So honestly, this will work as fine as well. You can have two loops. These are for the mat, but they work well also in a practice. So this is the easiest switch if you have a yoga mat. If you don't, maybe you have a resistant band like the long one. It's also quite nice for beginners because it's more stretchy than the classic yoga band. So this, or a belt from your pants, or a scarf, like a longer one, or even a towel. Like seriously, you don't have to have fancy yoga props to do yoga. That's basically the whole meaning behind the video. Like, you can switch around as much as you want to do it for your practice. So yeah, yoga strap, yoga mat strap, towel, scarf, belt, longer resistant band, or even like the short booty one will work for stretching the hamstrings. This is the first one. The second most, for me, I think, important, I would even say it's first for me, it's a yoga block. I love yoga blocks. Honestly, this is my favorite prop, I think. Maybe second, because I love Bolster the most. So, yoga block. I have a wooden one. I invested in them when I opened up the studio because I think they give the most comfort and stability in the practice. They are not as nice as the foamy one because they are hard, it's wood, but for balancing they are much more stable. Foam yoga blocks will work best if you want to do maybe more advanced split practice and like level up your legs. So the foam will work nicely because it's soft. So yoga block. If you want to use them for balancing, the easiest switches that you can do is a book. I have like a random book here that's, well, half as big as the blog, but that's the biggest one I have. So you can find something that is kind of resemblance of the blog, and for the height, so you can see like it's even higher. It's gonna be fine, I think. Like, I never practiced this with books. I always had like a block, 1 or 2. And how many blocks you're using, this much books, I think you're gonna go for the switches. And if you need something even higher than just a block, I think you can switch a block with a chair or a stool. I don't know if it's in the frame, but I have a chair here. I think it's gonna work perfectly. Or one with no arms around it, so like just a stool, still perfectly fine. Or even a couch or something else that is nearby when you're practicing. Moving on to, well, yeah, I'm gonna pick favorites. My favorite yoga tool is this amazing thing called a Bolster. I love bolsters. I asked this for a gift for my birthday, and since then I do not, like, I always have this with me. This is what I wanted to say. It's also nice if you need some length, because it's kind of stable, so you can use it as a block. But bolsters are not cheap, so having two can be not affordable for everyone. If you want a bolster, I highly recommend it. I cannot say it enough. I love it. Honestly, I love it. But how to change it for you at home in practice when you see yoga flow with a bolster and you do not have a bolster? If it's a gentle class, I think you can just grab a blanket and roll it, or like 2 blankets or something like that. Most of the time I do this, and I also use bigger pillows. You can like fold the pillows so they are much bigger, or use a big one if you have a big pillow. But of course, like a blanket will work as well for the bolster. Also, a bolster, or like I'm sitting on a meditation pillow, this can be easily switched for a blanket, a book, or a block, or some type of a pillows. I have many pillows behind me, so I think it's just easier to see it like that. And yeah, I don't know if I missed something, but this is the props that I'm using at my home. At my practice, at my students' practice. For example, also, this is just like additional thing, but I cover up for Shavasana or anything relaxing that you want to do. You can easily also grab a blanket, grab maybe a towel, or if you're practicing in a hoodie, just cover up your eyes with a hood, and it's gonna work fine as well. And for something maybe like a ball for massage, we can also cover up this one. If you have a dog, you can easily take his pillow or her pillow as a massager. It has to be harder, like this is quite hard pillow. They're not that expensive, so if you know that you want to practice massage in your practices, then invest it seriously. It's a great thing to have on day to day, to roll your palms, your feet, maybe your glutes, to just release some tension that you are holding. So this is quite affordable, so I think it's easier switch. But yeah, this is basically all I use, and I hope it's gonna be helpful. It's maybe a little bit chaotic, but I will try to like in description put everything to how to switch it around. And yeah, maybe yoga mat. Let's say something about yoga mat. They can be expensive. If you know that you are practicing for some time, then go ahead and invest in a good yoga mat, because you don't want to hurt yourself in any way, and just find a yoga mat that's gonna suit you best. I'm gonna do a separate video probably how to choose a yoga mat for yourself. But yeah, if you're starting and you do not know how to like do a practice without a yoga mat, and you do not want to hurt yourself, you can try using a blanket or a carpet. Still, I don't know if it's going to be safe enough for you, but this is something where you can start doing a slower, gentler practice, maybe focused more on the breath work and stretches, so you're sure that you're not going to slip or fall because the surface underneath you is not steady. And if you want to find maybe a cheaper version of a mat, then you can do probably that as well. I think that most of fast fashion brands, unfortunately, this is the recommendation, have a quite good, cheaper yoga mats on their sites when you go to the activewear or sports area. I know H&M and Oysho and brands like this have yoga mats, and they're quite nice. Honestly, they're not that expensive, but they are still good enough to start your practice. Or if you're gonna Google basically yoga mat, and then you don't want to slip, so find a one that is no slip and in your price range. So yeah, that's everything. Hopefully you're gonna find this a little chaotic video helpful, and yeah, see you on the mat. Bye.